on the new Tekkit game, and here I've got myself a sawmill. The sawmill is another one of those thermal expansion mod things, and it's useful for if you're making planks. Because what it'll do is it'll take, your regular log, it'll grind it up, and boom, 6 planks. So you get 50% more than you usually get just by turning logs into planks yourself. And also, you get this byproduct called sawdust. Sawdust is used in its own kind of way. What you do with that is, once you get 8 pieces of sawdust, and I just need to grind up one more log thing. Once you get 8 pieces of sawdust, you can combine it together in a crafting bench, which I will run to right here. Combine it in a crafting bench like this, and you get compressed sawdust. What you can do with compressed sawdust is throw it in the furnace, and it'll burn, and boom, you'll receive charcoal. So it's just a nice byproduct. However, obviously it's more efficient to actually just smelt the logs to get the actual charcoal. So if you're trying to make charcoal, just do it with logs. Don't bother with the sawmill. But if you need planks, you might as well use the sawmill because it's way more efficient and you get the charcoal byproduct. Anyways, that's not what I'm going to be focusing this episode on. What I want to talk to you about today is how to make oil. Because recently in the lab, I've had a bunch of power crises dealing with the issues, because all of my machines used to run on coal. I used to have steam engines. However, steam engines were very buggy, and they didn't produce power very well, and there's always like either an excess or a shortage. I didn't like it. So I tried switching to oil, and so far I've liked it so far, because I can just turn it off whenever I want. The fuel creates a lot of power, so on and so forth. So anyways, I'm going to explain the process of creating fuel. There are many ways to do it. However, there are just some basics that you need to know in order to actually do it properly. So I'm going to do that in the morning. Okay, morning time. Let's get out here. Check for monsters. I don't think any of them had time to spawn, which is good. Now, to start off in creating oil, you are going to need an actual oil well. They're not hard to find. Usually you'll see like giant spouts of oil just kind of shooting out of the ground. I found one that's really huge, and I'll probably be showing a picture of it right about now. And yeah, so they're pretty easy to find. Just look for them, just a bunch of black liquid in the ground. However, don't jump in it, because that I think it's like poisons you if you do that. So yeah. Anyways, once you have the oil source, you're going to need an oil well. Or, well, just a mining well. What a mining well is this thing. It's basically just, well, first you need to make a mining well, which is iron, a lot of iron, an iron pick, and some redstone. And then you're going to want to put a tank on top of that to make a pump. See, mining well and a tank makes a pump. A pump is basically like a mining well, except it does liquids. And yeah, you want to set the pump up here above wherever your oil thing is, and put some sort of engine. I just have a redstone engine. It's not the most efficient or the fastest way to pump oil, but I don't need it to be going out too fast, so it doesn't matter. And also then connect some waterproof pipes from the top of the oil well and into wherever you want it to go. And waterproof pipes are made from regular pipes, which are just regular pipes, which can be made from like stone and glass or cobblestone and glass. And then you also need waterproofing. Waterproofing is made from cactus green dye. Just put it in a crafting bench and you'll get it. So make sure to harvest some cactus before you do this. Okay, now that you have your oil in the pipes, you need to actually take it to a refinery, presuming you want to refine it into oil. You don't have to. Oil itself can be used as a liquid fuel source. However, it's nowhere near as efficient as fuel. So, the next thing you're going to want to do is build a building to house your machinery. I would not recommend having this kind of stuff outside, because a lot of this stuff is pretty high value and you really do not want a creeper getting in here. So make sure you have a nice, well-lit building to be able to refine your oil in. You'll thank me for that later. So, Now that your oil has come into the well, you're going to probably want to store it. You don't necessarily have to, but it's probably you're better off that way. And you can do that by making tanks. Tanks are just made by Tanks are made by 8 pieces of glass in the square. They're just like a chest, or most things in Minecraft. And yeah, you get the tank, and then you can place those down, stack them as high as you want, and just get as many as you want to store all your oil. Now, to get oil out of the chest, you're going to need wooden waterproof pipes, which are wooden pipes, which are 2 pieces of wooden glass, and then some waterproofing from the cactus green. You're going to need those to be able to pull the oil out of the tank. So set those up, and then you're going to need another engine. For getting liquids out of the tank, I would just highly recommend you go with redstone engines, because that's really all you need. Because, I mean, one pump with the redstone engine will be enough to get, like, a bucket of oil out of the tank. So it'll work just fine for your purposes. And then you want to take the oil to the refinery. The refinery is probably the most expensive part of this whole process, because it requires a diamond gear, which is 4 diamonds. And yeah, but what the refinery actually does is it's the part that actually turns oil into fuel. As you can see here, it's got some storage for a couple buckets of oil, and in the front here for a couple buckets of fuel. You're going to want to put the oil in the back, and the fuel output will be in the front, at this front one. And you're going to want to put a wooden waterproof pipe here with an engine to be able to pump out the fuel. And here I have the fuel going into tanks. That's optional as well. You could just have it go straight to your machines if you wanted to, but chances are you'll be making more than the machines are going to burn, unless you have like a huge production going on. So you may just want to store it temporarily and such. Now, to make the refinery work, you are going to need some source of power with that. Here I currently have Stirling engines. The Stirling engines run off of like charcoal, coal, wood, and stuff like that. Later on, I'm probably going to upgrade to actually having a fuel-powered engine to power my refinery, because it'll be stronger. These are actually pretty weak, and they make fuel really slowly, but, you know, I haven't really cared too much because I don't need that much fuel. Although, the whole process of getting charcoal kind of makes it a bit more work, so I figured to save on that, I'll probably just put some buckets of fuel in there in a fuel-type engine, or a combustion engine, sorry, and get that to work. Yes. So you're going to want to put some engines down, whichever ones you choose, it's up to you. And then you're going to want a wooden conductive pipe and a gold or stone conductive pipe to connect up to the refinery. The refinery's right up there, if you can kind of barely see it. And to make conductive pipes, you just take the pipe of choice, and then you put a piece of redstone next to it. See, gold, stone, wood, all that good stuff. So yeah, once that's powered, it'll automatically start producing, or it'll start making the refinery run, and it'll start producing fuel. You'll be able to tell it's running because these 2 red blocks here will start moving. Actually, I'll just get it moving just to show you. Let's see, just put a piece of charcoal in here. That'll start burning, and you'll be able to see it move a little bit. It won't be getting too much power, but as you can see here, these things turn purple, which means they have power. They turn a variety of colors depending how much power is in them, like purple, and then like teal, and then green, or maybe it's green and then teal. I don't know the order. But yeah, red means it doesn't have power, purple means it does, blue and teal and green mean it has power. And it'll be producing fuel. You won't really see the fuel notch go up at all because there's so little power in it, but, you know, I just kind of wanted to show you how that worked. Now, what do you do with fuel? Well, you are going to want to create what is a combustion engine. The combustion engine works off of fuel and water. It's made out of iron gears, piston, glass, and some iron. And I have one in the bottom of the lab now. I replaced the 2 steam engines because they're kind of bad. And yeah, so I'm just going to go down here to the power source. And here I have a second fuel tank storage where I acquire fuel from the refinery over there, and it brings it all the way here through this tunnel. And yeah, and I have another redstone engine to pump it out of the tank, and it'll go up through these cobblestone waterproof pipes and into this combustion engine. As you can see here, it's got a little bit of fuel in it and a lot of water. And if I turn it on with the redstone signal, it'll start pumping away, and it'll create power to power my machines. And I'm don't want to waste fuel. So, anyways, that's basically how fuel works and how combustion engines work. Great power source, although you may kind of have to run around a bit trying to find new sources of oil every now and again. But normally, out of a decent-sized well, you can get a decent amount of oil to power your machines. So unless you have, like once again, a huge laboratory of machines, you should be fine with one oil well lasting you for quite a while. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I'm going to eat an apple now. Give this video a like or a favorite or a subscribe or comment to it or whatever. Do whatever you feel like. And yeah, thanks for watching.